Hello and welcome to the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Brightwell, joined by Richard Mulrooney, men's soccer coach. And Coach, you look bundled up there as we see the snowstorm coming through. Have you and the family or anyone had a chance to get out, play around in the snow yesterday or today, or have you just been trying to stay in and stay warm?
No, I think once the kids got a taste of it yesterday, and this is honestly, we've lived here my whole life for the most part, and I can only think of maybe 3 or 4 other times we've gotten this much. So when you get it, you better enjoy it. And the kids got a taste of it yesterday for the first time, and they're out there right now. So yeah, I'm partially dressed to go out there, and I'm about to join them after this. But in the meantime, I got some business to talk with you. So we're enjoying it, staying warm, and just taking it day by day to see what comes next.
I talked to Brooks earlier. I asked him because he was out with the kids too. As a soccer family, do you go out into the front of the backyard, walk off a pitch, and try to play no soccer?
Well, if it was up to me, I probably would, and I would have ordered the orange ball and everything. But my oldest actually brought the pigskin out, made a goal line, nice. And I was throwing, I should say lofting 30 or 40-yard balls into it so he could dive on the snow and it go everywhere. So it was football. It's a different type of football, but at the end of the day, I think if I brought a soccer ball, he'd be up for it as well. But yesterday was American football. Well, I'll see if I can talk him into soccer today, though.
As a former collegiate player that played in the Midwest and then your MLS career, we see it in Europe in the Champions League when they put a game in Norway or Sweden or Switzerland. They'll play in some really heavy snow like they play American football here. Did you ever have that experience in college or your pro career?
I really didn't. Obviously, with Creighton being in Omaha, we had some cold games, but we really, in the fall, the snow started coming in December when our season was already over. So we missed it, although, there were some 20 or 30-degree games. And then when we traveled, really didn't hit anything. The fall, I think men's soccer is played in the fall for a reason, and we're seeing why now. For the MLS, I had a couple snow games. I think one year we went to Denver. I swear it was like 55 degrees. We were training outside, woke up the next morning, half a foot of snow on the ground. And obviously they've got the manpower to clean the fields and all that. And we played in the snow. But in saying that, that's Denver, Colorado for you. So hadn't had a ton of experience there, but the places that I had been and it had snowed, they had the power to clean the field. So you can obviously see the lines and have a safe game, to be honest with you.
Well, if it's going to be 20 degrees and I've got to play, I want to at least see some snow. I don't want to turn around at 20 degrees and it's windy.
Agreed.
Coach, I'm sure you talked to the players. The university shut down, and with the snowstorm and another one trying to get in here overnight Wednesday and maybe a little bit Thursday, you guys aren't able to get over to the Murphy Athletic Complex and train. So these guys trying to stay warm. And I've asked every other coach this. So these guys are 18 to 22. We were all 18 to 22 at one point, and you growing up in Memphis like me, the fun thing to do is let's call our buddies, go play football or something in the street. Of course, tackle football in the street because that's safe on the ice. Sure. I guess you probably talked to your guys about go enjoy it, but don't do anything crazy. We waited over a year to play, and we don't need you busted an ankle or something before we restart our season.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, this is fun to do. A lot of my guys are from Texas or from the southern states. So to get this, they want to enjoy it, but we also have to be, realistic in terms of what we're trying, not only physically, but as I told them, it was Valentine's weekend. Everybody wanted to maybe go out and have a nice dinner here or there. We've got this COVID thing going on as well. So it's not just with the snow going out and maybe busting an ankle or falling on an elbow. It's, still, trying to fight this COVID disease, so it's sort of a double negative. And our message to the guys of this week was, unfortunately, yes, the athletic complex is closed. Doesn't mean you can't do some sit-ups and push-ups in your room, maybe get a little cardio somehow if it's safe. But at the end of the day, this is what's presented to us. But we also need to make sure that when this is over, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whatever it is, that we have enough guys to still go out and practice and play. Our season's still going on and you have to be smart with it. But at the same time, yeah, you don't want to lose a little cardio here or lose some touches on the ball. But at the same time, you know what? Mother Nature's bigger than all of us. And if this is what she's given us, we'll live to fight another day, but we just have to be smart with it.
Well, as you mentioned, a lot of push-ups and sit-ups, air squats in the house. But at the end of the day, too, I guess a good cardio workout, because I did it yesterday, is go spend about 30 minutes outside shoveling a path for your automobile. I'm sure they've been able to kind of do that as well.
Yeah. I've always used the comment, when Rocky Balboa went to Russia to fight the Russian there, he got put out in a house in the middle of the woods with snow. So if he could do it, I think we have a chance to do it. And again, not maybe going to that extreme, but we have enough stuff around the house or outside that we can somewhat do something and get a sweat going. But like I said, it's a matter of just being safe and making sure that we live to fight another day, to be honest with you.
Well, I did drive over, since I live in the university neighborhood, drove over to the campus yesterday and looked at the athletic facilities, saw your field, and even if you wanted to, it was open, it would not have been conducive and probably wouldn't be very conducive to get outside and do anything.
Yeah, it's just, to go out, you're not going to accomplish anything other than maybe pick up some injuries, maybe a little frostbite here or there. It's just not doable. And obviously, with the university shutting down, Laird's been respectful of, just saying the athletic complex is shut down. So going in the indoor facility is probably not the right idea because people have to drive over there. Obviously, you have to have your trainers. So at the end of the day, it's a smart decision. It's tough because, we've waited so long to have games. We've only had one game. We had our last game postponed until next month against Tulsa. We want to play this weekend. We're going to do everything we can to get it set up. But at the end of the day, it's about the health and safety of our student athletes and the staff that go with that. So, we'll get more games in. We just have to, take a deep breath and make sure we're making the right decisions on that and where to play, when to play, and all that. And, I've got a good staff in terms of travel, sports administration that will help me make that decision for the guys.
Of course, you mentioned right now you do have a game scheduled. We record this on a Tuesday. So if you're watching it later in the week, right now you do have a game scheduled for this weekend at home against Temple. Obviously, with yesterday's weather, the potential of tomorrow and Thursday's weather, that's going to kind of be tentative. So pay attention to GoTigersGo.com, the Memphis Soccer Facebook and Twitter, all the social media. I'm sure there will be some sort of announcement, whether it's on or it's off later in the week. Absolutely.
Yeah. Stay up to date. No one knows what tomorrow's going to bring, but they were right about yesterday's snow, and it's probably going to be coming in tomorrow and Thursday. So all I can say is, pay attention to the Twitter, to the Facebook announcements and all that. And we'll do our best to get the game in some capacity. But as of right now, we just don't have an answer.
All right. So since you play that first match, the only match, the game against SMU, you're going to have a little bit more of an elongated break. I guess it's, as far as when you are able to prepare for your next match, it's still concentrate on Memphis and the Tigers, not so much the opponent, because it had been so long and now it's another big break. It's more about yourselves than the opponent right now.
It was. And like I said, after that SMU game, we learned a lot about ourselves. And that's a good SMU team. They turned around, and I think that they beat UCF this past weekend 6 or 7-0. And that's not a knock on or USF, excuse me. It's not a knock on USF. It just shows you that we ran into a really good, prepared SMU team that weekend and basically held them to 2-0. But in saying that, that's still a loss. There's a lot of things to learn from that. We've watched a lot of video on that, had individual meetings up to this point until we got the snow. And obviously Temple played this past weekend against UCF at home. So we were able to get video on that. So physically, yes, we're limited in what we can do, but you can always educate yourselves in terms of how the other team plays, watch video on yourself. So we've been able to get some stuff done. And like I said, I think we'll be a smarter team come our next game. And obviously physically, that's why you do your fitness and everything. So if you're off for a little bit, could be a little bit rusty here or there, but I don't expect too much of a tail off. But at the same time, we've been busy preparing for Temple because they've had a couple games, and obviously watching our game versus SMU. And I think if you put both of those together, I believe we'll be okay. I think we'll be fine. And again, it'll be another learning lesson, only our second game this year. But at the same time, I don't want to use that excuse. And next thing you know, be 0-8. We want to start picking up some wins, whether home or away. And we're capable of doing that. But there's ways to prepare for that, whether you're on the field or off the field.
And I guess at the end of the day, whether you're able to play this weekend or it's going to be next week when you get to play a little bit of a break here when they're forced to be inside and there is no option to come over and do official practices or training or anything. Any kind of nagging injuries you picked up maybe in the preseason, a chance to heal up before you go forward through the rest of the season?
That 100%. We do have some guys that are day to day, and maybe this week they weren't going to be able to train anyways, wondering if it'd be an option this weekend. This is, things happen for a reason, sometimes good, sometimes bad. One of the good things is, we were banged up a bit, had 4 or 5 subs versus SMU. And, it's been about a week and a half or close to it for those guys to get back. So if we were up to 6 or 7 for our subs, we need every guy possible. So that is a positive for that. And I do expect to have a couple more subs for this game going into this weekend or even next, depending on the weather.
All right, Coach, as always, we appreciate it. Stay warm and stay tuned to see the status on this weekend's game.
Thanks, Jeff. Have a good day.
That's Richard Mulrooney. I'm Jeff Brightwell with the Wolfchase Toyota Insider, the Memphis Tiger Network.